Welcome. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going over an upcoming PSA submission. The main theme for the submission, there's going to be some PC stuff in this, some personal collection stuff in this, like this Cade Cunningham and maybe some other ones. The main theme for this collection, though, is going to be, and for the submission, is going to be a bunch of cards that I think the timing makes sense for them. So you'll see a little bit of baseball, you'll see a little bit of football, kind of just mixed into this order. The reason why, especially with some of the football stuff, the reason why I'm timing this now is, well, first of all, PSA is having a special this month. They continued it from last month. They did a special for a couple weeks, and they continued it throughout this month. And so it's $16.99 per card. But on top of that, I also wanted to time some of this stuff, so I'll get it back in about a month and a half, maybe 2 months at most, which will be, as the baseball season is kind of settling in and player performance is kind of locked in, and teams are starting to ramp up for the playoffs, as well as the beginning of the preseason hype for football. So you'll see that there's some stuff. I don't really collect a lot of football. I collect a little bit of Lions football, but it's not really the main thing that I collect. I mainly collect Pistons and a little bit of Michigan stuff. But you'll see that there's going to be a fair amount of like big name football players. There's not going to be any crazy cards in here. So if you're looking for the absolute craziest cards, other than maybe something like this, but if you're looking for like the craziest bangers, this is not really going to be that. But the main idea that I have here is that I want to have the ability to go to a show and have a bunch of $40, $50 cards that I can go to a dealer and say, hey, I really like that really rare, unique thing that you have there. Let me give you a bunch of cards that are, relatively low dollar PSA 10s that you can then use to easily sell at your table, and I can give you, a fair market match. So basically, the main idea with this submission and the next submission is for me to kind of be building up a little bit of a stockpile of stuff that I can use as trade bait when I'm going to a show. So if I see something that I really like, I can actually just trade into it. Also, some of the stuff I'm just going to be auctioning off on eBay as soon as I get it back, especially some of the football stuff, because it's going to be the right time to do that going into the preseason. Although technically preseason for football starts in August, a lot of this stuff I'll be getting back probably early June, so it's a little bit early for that. But at the same time, it's kind of the beginning of the hype cycle for that, going into the summer for football. So that's kind of the thought process with this submission. Just wanted to explain this. I also will have another video coming out within a day or two after this video is released of another submission that I'm doing, and that one's going to have a little bit of a different theme, although some similarities, but that one's going to be less focused on the timing aspect and more focused on players that are kind of evergreen, for lack of a better term. But we'll talk about that one in the next video, so keep an eye out for that. Like, comment, subscribe. Hope this is a helpful video for you. If you're sending off for cards for grading, there are things that you think I should probably not send off, I am operating at a slimmer margin here just because I got a lot of these cards for a pretty inexpensive price. And so if I sell it for $40, I'm happy with that. Some of these are going to be worth more than that. But at the end of the day, a lot of this, especially some of the lower dollar stuff, is basically stuff where if I get a PSA 9, I break even on it. I just auction it off on eBay and I make 15, 20 bucks on it. If I get a PSA 10, then I can use it as trade bait at a show. Or if I wanted to get cash for it, I could easily do it as well. So it's just a lot of really simple stuff, not really high value. Although this first card is. And with that, let's get into it. This first card, and one thing also that I want to preface, I'm going to be going a little bit slow with each card, not only because I'll be explaining my thought process, which I may not do fully in every card, but also because I want to show fully the front and the back of each card so that if I have any problems with my PSA submission, I have a video recording of each card and the condition that it was in before. So if you notice I'm going a little bit slow with the card when flipping it over and all of that, that's why. And I would recommend that you do the same, even if you don't post your stuff online. This first card, this is Cade Cunningham. This is a rookie card. This is from the Revolution product. This is the cubic parallel numbered out of 50. This is number 35 out of 50. Got the cubic on the top right, the numbering right over here. Got this on eBay for a good deal. It was just way too low, so I decided to get that. Next up, this is Adley Rutschman for the Orioles. This is a rookie from Bowman Chrome. It's not a first, but it does have the rookie logo right here. His first would have been from previous years. This one I found in a dollar box or in a box at a card store. It was $8. This is numbered out of 499, number 127 out of 499. This is a refractor, numbered refractor of a good young player. Can't go wrong with that. Micah Parsons, one of the more collectible defensive players in football. Football, oftentimes, a lot of the hype is around the quarterbacks and maybe some of the skill position players. Defensive players don't get a lot of love. Micah Parsons actually does have a pretty solid market, probably because he's one of the best defensive players. But this is his rookie. This is from Select. This is the tie-dye yellow-red. I'd have to check the exact name for it. It's a little bit off-center, but I think even as a 9, this sells for around $30. So I think as a 10, it's in like the 80 to 100 range. I believe I got this a while ago. I didn't just pick this up when I went to a card store. I went to a card store over the past week or so, and I think I spent over 2 trips. I think I spent about $300 there, and then supplementing that with just other cards that I had lying around for this and the next order. This is Justin Jefferson. This is a score rookie. This is kind of what I'm talking about. This is a card where, as a PSA 10, it's maybe $40 or $50. Maybe I don't think it would be $60. This is just a base card. It's nothing too crazy. It is a chromium base card, so generally those have a little bit more value. Nothing too crazy here. One of the best wide receivers in football. Rookie card. No issues. And one thing I want to do real quick is just want to show the front and back of this. Daniel Jones, starting quarterback for the New York Giants, although maybe not for that much longer. We shall see. Also, you might notice like the autofocus box because I'm recording the video on my iPhone. So if you notice the little yellow box on the player's face, that is why. It's just an autofocus and I don't know how to turn it off. If you know how to turn it off, let me know below. I did a little bit of a search before and I wasn't able to. Daniel Jones, starting quarterback for the New York Giants. This is the field level from Select. And so fairly short printed. This is the base version. I think as a PSA 10, this is probably a $60 to $80 card. As a PSA 9, it's probably $15. Ahmad Sauce Gardner, another defensive player that is actually surprisingly collectible. This is the silver suite level from Select. And just a good solid card of a good young defensive player that seems to have a pretty strong market. Jordan Love, starting quarterback for the Packers. This is the Select Certified, I think, is the insert name. But this is just, a regular rookie card from Select. Nothing too crazy. Probably a $50, $60 card as a PSA 10. Quarterbacks are really what drives a lot of the football market, so happy to have that. Another Ahmad Sauce Gardner right over here. This is the green-yellow tie-dye, not tie-dye, die cut from Select. Nothing too crazy. PSA 10 is probably $60 to $80. Easy. This one, I don't know if I should send this in. This is Josh Allen. I think this is a 2022 Select, so definitely not a rookie, but it is the suite level, and it is a silver. I think as a PSA 10, this is likely around $50 to $80. PSA 9, probably $10 to $15. Happy to send it in. Trevor Lawrence, and again, you'll see the big theme here is a lot of kind of trendy football players. Trevor Lawrence, this is Optic. This is his base rookie card from Optic. Nothing too crazy. It is a chromium card, so it does have a little bit more value. I think as a PSA 10, these go for, again, somewhere in like the 40 to 60, maybe 70. I doubt 70 range. But at $16.99 grading, I probably got this for $3 in a box. So I don't really have too many issues with that. As a PSA 9, it will sell for 15 to 20. So I break even on a PSA 9. And just real quick, I wanted to make sure that I'm showing the front and back of the past few cards. Boom, 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 and boom, boom, boom. Perfect. All right, next up, Luka Doncic rookie. This is from Chronicles Marquee. This is, I think it's a PSA 10. This is around a $200 card, but as a PSA 9, I think it's around a $40 to $50 card. I got it for $20, probably closer to $17 or $18 in a bulk deal. I have my doubts on this getting a 10. The centering on the front of it is really good, but I do think there's a little bit of edge wear on the top and on the back a little bit. I do think it has a shot at a 10, so, and I really don't have any Lukas, so this one I might actually keep if I do get it graded, but we'll see. Or if I do get a 10 on this, but we'll see. Next up, Joe Burrow. This is a die cut rookie. This is from Select. This is the field level die cut. This was one of the more expensive cards that I bought when I was at the store. I think I probably paid about $45 for it. I think as a PSA 10, it probably goes for around $250. PSA 9 probably $75 or $80. So, sending it in, no issues there. More quarterbacks, Trevor Lawrence. This is the Trevor Lawrence Yellow Reactive from Mosaic. This is a really good rookie card. Nice color match on that. Mosaic usually grades fairly well, so good shot at a 10 on this one. And a 10 of a top young quarterback. No issues there. Tyrese Maxey, this is the Fast Break rookie card from Mosaic. One of the top young guards in the NBA. Kind of a no-brainer. I think this was maybe $10, so kind of a no-brainer. Benedict Mathurin, this is the Prism Fast Break variation. One of the better young players on the Pacers, might do decently well in the playoffs. We'll see how that goes. But I think this was $8. I think I probably ended up paying like $6.50 for it after knocking off $1 or $2 per card on a bulk deal. No issues there. Gavin Lux. This is his rookie green from Topps Chrome. This is numbered out of 99. See that right there. He's not the best player, but a rookie out of 99 for a player that's been in the league for a few years and seems to, not the craziest career, but I think this was maybe $15. I probably ended up paying like 13 or something like that. So, no issues there for me at least. I think as a PSA 10, this sells in like the 80 to 120 range. I could be wrong. I could be a little bit high on that, but it's approximately that, even if it's on the lower end of that. So, paying roughly $15 for it plus grading, no issues there. This is an insert set that I really, really like. This is from, I think, last year's Topps Chrome. This is the Heart of the City insert set, and this is the Philadelphia one with Bryce Harper on it, who's obviously the best player on the Phillies. I think this is just a really great insert, and these sell as a PSA 10 for around $40, but I also think it's the kind of thing where if you're talking to somebody who likes the Phillies, they're going to like immediately gravitate to this kind of card. It's just one of those really strong eye appeal sets, and so I think these will mature actually surprisingly well, although I've been wrong on that before, so you tell me. About halfway through, Anthony Volpe. This is the Titans insert set from Topps Chrome. He's had a really strong start to the season. I had a few of his cards lying around. I think I also saw this when I was at the store. I think I got this for $2 or $3. So sending this in, why not? Rookie card insert, nice theme to it, why not? I'm not the biggest soccer person, and really I don't know too much about this guy. I know that he's young. I know that he was on Ajax and then transferred. I saw this at the store. I think the card was just a couple bucks. It's Topps Chrome, UCL Sapphire. And the Champions League Sapphire, this is Mohamed Daramy. And I saw a couple sales of this as a PSA 10 for $80. I got 2 of this. I'll have 1 in the other order. And I'd expect I'll get 40 or $50 for it. But again, paying $2 for it, why not? Back to the quarterbacks theme. So this is Joe Burrow. This is his rookie card, the emergent insert from Prism. This is the base version, nothing too crazy. Maybe $60 card as a PSA 10. I had this lying around, why not? Same theme, Justin Jefferson. This is Select. This is the Concourse level, the Premier level. Base card, PSA 10 is probably $40, 35 to 40. Probably on the edge of whether or not I should include it, but it looks good. I'm also curious, there's a little thing over here. It's kind of hard to see. That looks like it's kind of a printing defect, so I probably shouldn't even send this in. And I might reject this, but in my final review when I'm going through this and actually like inputting the order. But I mean, it looks good other than that. And that defect, it's not like a dimple. It's actually like kind of almost looks like it's a paint issue. So I'm not sure. Might reject this one, but otherwise it'd be 30 to 40. Same theme, top young baseball players. Julio Rodriguez. This is the Topps Chrome rookie card, the true rookie from Topps Chrome. It's a little bit off center, left to right. Probably will get a 9, but I think even as a 9, this goes for around 20, 25. So I think this might have a shot at a 10. The centering, if somebody wants to, they could ding it for that. I personally would probably ding it for it, but why not? Next up, Jason Dominguez, top young player for the Yankees. Yankees have a really strong collector base, so generally their top young players are going to outsell a lot of other teams. Jason Dominguez is the first Bowman. This is the paper version. Nothing too crazy here. I think as a PSA 10, this is maybe 60 or $80. Ahmad Sauce Gardner. This is the Prism Black from Chronicles, actually. Nice color match. I think as a PSA 10, these are around $40. Nothing too crazy. Francisco Alvarez for the Mets. This is Bowman Chrome Sapphire rookie. Again, nothing too crazy. I think as a PSA 10, these are going for around 40 or 50. Julio Rodriguez. This is from Topps, I think, Museum Collection. This one, I believe I paid around $15 for this. It's a thicker card, you could probably see. So my expectation is that this will probably get a 9, but it does look really good. I mean, if I was grading this, I would give it a 10. I don't really see anything wrong with it, but just because it's a thicker card, PSA oftentimes is a little bit harsh on those. It does have a little bit of a corner issue right there. So I'm guessing probably a 9, possibly an 8, if I, factoring in that corner right there. I think as a PSA 9, this sells for somewhere in the 40 range, so no issues there. Going back to that Heart of the City insert, this is Aaron Judge from Topps Chrome. Heart of the City insert. Again, just great design. If you're a Yankees collector, this is the kind of thing that you'll probably want to have in your collection. Just as from the aesthetic of it. It's not like crazy valuable. I'm not sure if there are numbered parallels of this, but it's just a good looking card. It's got the big New York on there, it's got the skyline, it's got Heart of the City, it's got the best player on the team. Checks all the boxes. Next up, Michael Harris, the second Bowman Chrome Sapphire rookie card. Nothing too crazy. Easy work. Can't go wrong with that. Spencer Steer for the Reds. Same set, Bowman Chrome Sapphire rookie card. Tristan Casas, this is the 1988 insert from Topps Chrome. These are going for around 40 to 50 right now. And again, nothing too crazy, but it's a nice refractor rookie card of a good young player for a popular team for the Red Sox. This is technically not a refractor. The insert is just on its own a refractor, but it's not like there is the base version and the refractor. All of the 1988 inserts are refractors. So like if you were trying to comp this and you typed in 1988 refractor, you wouldn't see the sales volume, but if you just typed in like the Tristan Casas, what is it, 88 BC 10 PSA, then you'll see a lot of the transaction volume, but there's no difference between like if somebody put in a refractor into the name or not, although I'm sure you could if you wanted to. Anthony Volpe. This is a rookie refractor from Topps Chrome. I got this, I believe, late last year at the same card shop that I went to, and I just kind of had it sitting around. I think at the time it was before he's had a really hot start to this season, so his market is really woken up, but I think he played a few games last year in the majors, and he did okay, but not great, not bad, so his market was kind of meh whenever I did my last submission, so he's performed really well. I had this card sitting around, so including it in the submission. This is another one that's kind of on the edge on whether or not I should include it. This is Jameson Williams. This is a rookie card. This is from Mosaic. This is the pink camo. This is probably $35, $40 PSA 10. But going into the preseason for football, this is going to be the kind of thing that makes sense to have to trade or auction or something like that. Probably auction. Amon-Ra St. Brown. This is a rookie, although it doesn't have the rookie logo on it. This is from Donruss Optic. This is the glow ball insert. I believe all of them are hollows, although I could be wrong about that. But as a PSA 10, this is another one that I had sitting around, and then after his season last year, I just kind of checked it again recently, and PSA 10s are like in the 60 to 80 range, so I thought I would include that. Next up, this is 2015 Panini Complete. This is LeBron James. I bought a bunch of these off of eBay a while ago for like $2 each, and the reason I did was because I just thought that there's something to be said for a card that has a really great picture on it, and this is a really great picture of LeBron dunking. It's got him in the Cavaliers jersey, which is always going to have pretty strong collectability compared to some of the other LeBron eras. And it's just, in my opinion, I was just looking at a bunch of LeBron, like lower end base LeBron cards from his mid-career where they just had great pictures of him dunking, and this is one that kept coming up. So I bought, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 of these and maybe a couple more. Probably spent in total $10 to $20. And when I had checked, these were selling PSA 10s for around 25 to 30, but I guess somebody figured it out too, because now they're selling for around 40 to 50 as PSA 10s. So just thought now that these cards kind of started to mature a little bit, that I would start sending in a couple of them. I've got 1 or 2 in this order. I think 1 in this order, and then 2 in the order that I'll be doing in the next video that I'll be recording right after this. Young basketball stars, Tyrese Halliburton, Prism base. Centering looks great. PSA 10 is maybe $50, give or take, 40 or $50, nothing too crazy. Chauncey Billups. This is his Topps Finest rookie card. It does say debuts on it, but that's actually not a different insert. It's just this is his kind of true Topps Finest rookie. It did have the peel on it, which I just took off. I'll have a couple more of these in the next order, but this is, again, I bought maybe 4 or 5 of these off of eBay for just a couple bucks each, maybe a year ago. And now that he's been elected into the Hall of Fame, it makes sense to send in a few of them. So, got 1. Got 2. And I'll mix these up so they're not back to back, because that way generally, if they're back to back, a grader will grade 1 a 9 and 1 a 10 no matter what. Next up, Tyrese Halliburton, Donruss Optic rookie card. Nothing too crazy here. Jared Goff, Donruss rated rookie card. This is the paper Donruss card. I think as a PSA 10, this sells for maybe $60 or $80, give or take, especially now that he's had a little bit of a career revival in Detroit. I was surprised about a year ago this was not worth sending in, but he had a good season. I'll send it in. Spencer Strider for the Braves, one of the best young pitchers in baseball. And I opened a couple boxes of Heritage a year or two ago and just kind of had a pile of Heritage cards, and so I went through them and had a couple Spencer Striders. I've got one in this order, one in the other order that looked well centered. I think, again, a year ago, these were not really worth sending in, but I looked at them again. Now these are selling for around 40 to 50 as a PSA 10. And then last up for this order, and with Trevor Lawrence, this one's a little bit off center, left to right. This is the bronze parallel from Gridiron Kings, and it's nothing too crazy. I actually think that this is highly likely to get a 9, and as a 9, it sells for like 10 to 15 bucks. But at the same time, I'm willing to give it a shot to get a 10 because I'm actually not seeing any transaction volume on the 10, but the Joe Burrow, same exact card from 2020, is selling as a 10 for, I think, around 200 bucks for the bronze parallel. So can't hurt. I mean, I don't think I would, even if this was a 10, I don't think I would get a PSA. I don't think I'd get the 200 for it. There's a difference between Burrow and Trevor Lawrence's markets, but at the same time, do I think that as a PSA 10, I could put $100 on it and maybe get 80 for it? Sure. And also, again, great trade bait. Do I think this is going to get a 10? Unlikely. Centering isn't great. There's no real any other issues that I see, but thought I would send it in. On that note, what was your favorite card? Mine was obviously the first one, this Cade Cunningham Cubic. Excited to send this in. If you have any questions about this, if there's anything that you think I maybe shouldn't be sending in, I know this is the kind of stuff where it's like, oh no, they're sending in base cards again. So I definitely understand that, and I'm aware of that. But at the same time, $16.99, there's no reason not to send in a lot of this stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, even if I get a 50% gem rate on this and I'm able to trade my way into some pretty nice rare cards, I'm going to be ecstatic with that kind of result. So we'll have a check back in a couple months. I'll let you know how it goes. Let me know what your favorite was below. On that note, have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you later. Peace.